So one of the overarching themes in all of the comments in the last video about what we should name this thing, and going back and reading comments on a lot of the older videos, war came up a lot. So welcome to my war, my new invasion video series. Here's my poise wizard. We haven't played with this guy in a little while. Here's black metal. We haven't played with this guy in a little while. They share very similar sort of builds. Poise heavy, great sword builds, sort of augmented by spellcasting, not relying on spellcasting to win, using the poise and hyper armor mechanic with the great swords, relying on that, and instead of taking the stats over 40 as you would for a true spellcaster, we keep them at or around 40, and all the extra stats go into vitality so we can wear heavier armor. Both of these characters actually went down a weight class a little bit, but they're still heavy enough that they can poise through. Great swords, definitely straight swords and that kind of stuff. You got to have a pretty big weapon if you want to stop these guys from swinging. One-handed R1s work great as roll catches. And like I said, the spells are sort of augmenting the play. They're not what the play is based around. We've got Farron Dart, Deep Soul, Affinity on Poise Wizard. Here's what he's wearing, rings, so that we can do a little bit of damage with spells. That way you can't just walk straight into them and ignore them. We want him to do a little bit of damage. And then with black metal, we've got Great Chaos Fireball. Great Chaos Fireball, which I'm considering getting rid of some of his attunement, but I'm liking Great Chaos Fireball, so I might keep it. We've got Black Serpent, Black Flame, and Black Fire Orb. Black Flame, any black pyromancy is excellent against turtles. Fucks up stamina pretty good. Here's the rings. We're wearing the Int and the Faith ring, as well as one pyromancy boosting ring, but honestly he does more damage with spells than Poise Wizard does. So let's go ahead and get started. So right off the bat we take note that a Dark Spirit's been killed, and now we were invading while he was still in the world, which means there's a Dreadfinger active. We have spawned in the world's worst location though. These three are right on top of us, and the only exit in this area is a ladder. So what do we gotta do? Well, we gotta be like Elektra Records in 1969 and make use of the doors. All these narrow tight spaces means a lot of unlocked play, because you're going to be trying to roll where you want to go a lot of times, because like I said, narrow corridors and even more narrow doorways require precision rolls. Expert use of the turn and burn is how we're going to do all of our damage and hopefully thin out their numbers. Now 2 hits is not going to kill anybody, but if we do it enough, we might eventually create an opening where we're able to deal with just one phantom. And the same Dark Spirit, he comes back. Here again, doorway, we managed to hit all 3 players. 2 of them have to back off to heal, which means straight sword guys right on me gets deep souled and we finish him off. But it was a huge gamble. Look how much damage we took from that. Barely escaping. I also fuck up this turn and burn right here because I'm still nervous, still jittery. That's 2 Estus flasks we had to burn. But it did get rid of a phantom. Fuck up another turn and burn there. But we did get rid of a phantom, so that's the good news. We just got to get our mind straight, get back on track. Now the host is gone, we heal up, and we make another mistake right here. We lock on. Instead of keeping up our pressure the way we were, we try and fight this phantom. That low health he's got looked really tempting, so I locked on, and the host was able to get back in the fight and really fuck me up. So right back to what works, right? Right back to what works. Now, the best part of this is when the other invader saw a phantom die, he had to have started making his way down here, because now it's the smart play. He can see that this invader that's down here is doing some damage, and he managed to take out a phantom. So now you're not risking coming down here with a fucking loser. You're coming to be backup, and we have tagged out. The host foolishly goes for a 2v1 on a ladder instead of just making his escape, and congratulations, bud, you're trapped. This is my job now. What I meant when I said we had tagged out is I'm blocking the exit. He's swinging a greatsword. I'm swinging a greatsword. We're just going to get in each other's way. I've only got one Estus left. It wouldn't be smart for us to both be trying to chase this guy down. You see me fire a Deep Soul foolishly. I should have gone with a Great Farron Dart. I am going to go check on him because I'm not going to leave him high and dry. You always kind of want to hope for the best, but never overestimate your invader buddy's abilities. Fortunately, in this case, it pays off, and we're able to let him get the kill shot in, which is totally fine with me. We did all the hard work. We know it. We're the best. So, like I said, in this kind of situation, what really fucked these dudes up was narrow corridors and turn and burns. And then the straight sword, when his buddies rolled out to heal, he thought I'll take the magic guy one-on-one. What's great about the Moonlight Greatsword is the one-handed AR is just as good as the two-handed AR. It's off by literally just like a couple of points. So the one-handed AR is fantastic. Tagging out when we knew it was time to tag out. We're not, going to lie to ourselves and think that with one Estus, we're not going to get hit with this other invader's greatsword. We let him take care of that. And this is invasion number 2 for the day. Black Metal, also rolling around Lothric Castle. And, I'm sorry, the high wall of Lothric, really. Now, I know I just got done doing the lore invasions, but man, those capes are similar, right? I mean, is it possible the Drake Blood Knights were like the earliest Lothric Knights? Alright, fuck it. Let's talk about war stuff. So in the comments on the last video where I was asking you guys what I should name this, a couple of you mentioned, not even as a name, but a couple of you mentioned the fact that when you watch my videos, it's sort of from the perspective of, this old warrior type who's approaching invasions as war, which I like that aesthetic, and you guys have been saying that stuff in the comments for a while as I started looking back on older comments, and so that was pretty cool. 2, Black Flag fucking rules. 3, invasions are sort of my personal crusade in Dark Souls 3. I feel like my war is kind of fighting the invasions suck, And I've kind of drifted away from Reddit a little bit, me personally. You guys who, you go into threads and people are like, oh, I don't like invading, and how do you do it? It's hard, it sucks. You guys that post links to my videos and say, hey, check this guy out. I appreciate that to no end. Seriously, legitimately, thank you for doing that. I can't tell you how many people you have exposed to these videos, and, that's more people for me to talk to. I'm not going to fight these guys up here, by the way. We're not doing that, but that should be self-evident. But yeah, I appreciate that you guys do it, but I'm kind of sick of all of it. I'm just to the point where people complain and they say, well, this game catered to casuals and they made invasions a non-factor because they're so hard. Well, which is it? Are invasions hard, or does this game cater to casuals? You should be better than the casuals you're invading. You should be able to find a way to win. If I come on Reddit and I say, a guy who spammed R1 beat me, you would say, and rightfully so, get good. Well, if 3 guys spamming R1 beats you, get good. It's the same damn thing. Me, personally, I'm sick of it. But let's talk about this invasion. They get the Pus of Man going. Check out how much damage that motherfucker does. Literally. I mean, that's like literally half my health bar, right? I said literally a lot. I'll stop. But he did literally have my health. The gold decides to come after me, and he panic rolls and gets killed for it. The reason I embraced that fight and didn't try and retreat is because an enemy as tough as the Pus of Man is going to require all of their attention. So the 2 that were still fighting, the Pus of Man, they're not going to be a factor in my little fight with gold, and so now that's 1 phantom down. You noticed I switched to the Silver Cat ring because I'm going to be up here in this area doing a lot of high flying stuff on these ledges, and I want to be able to drop down if necessary. You can see I've got Black Serpent ready, and that's because it's an excellent area control spell. If someone follows me here and I hit them with Black Serpent, there's a chance they might panic roll off of the ledge there to the Winged Knight. They go the opposite way, so I get Great Chaos Fire Orb ready, which I'm really loving this spell. I've never played with it before. In an invasion, it's super awesome. It's fantastic. It's a great spell. because you can, like I just did there, poke your head around a corner, hit some people with it, and you have to actually time your roll. You can't roll through it like you can Chaos Bed Vestiges. You have to actually time your roll with the Great Chaos Fire Ward. Couple that with the fact that it leaves fire on the ground, and that's a pretty good spell. Costs a lot of stamina and 2 attunement slots. I'm really considering leaving the extra attunement slots on this character. We get some backup here. He plunge attacks the Phantom, keeps him busy. Host whiffs the parry, so he's out of stamina. If you whiff a parry, you're done. Your stamina's out, so blocking's a terrible idea. Now the Host and the other invaders squared off, and the Phantom won. I'm sorry, the Phantom and the other invader squared off, and the Phantom won, but that was all the time we needed to get rid of the Host. And I think the Phantom will still, or I'm sorry, the invader will still get credit for that invasion because I killed the Host soon enough. This is typically my favorite kind of invasion, where you get to play the level with them as this sort of constant nuisance. You know, you come around the corner, you hit them with some spells. When they're otherwise occupied, you get to show up and just at the worst possible fucking time show up and ruin their day. I love those kind of invasions. Those are the most fun for me to play. I don't know about everyone else, or how the Host feels about it, but as an invader, those are the most fun for me. I had a lot of fun with that one, and I actually invaded these guys a couple of times. I won both of them, but I think this was the better win. But yeah, that'll do it for our first episode. I realize it's a little short, but it took a lot of recording to get invasions that I feel were that real quality invasions. And hopefully, well, not hopefully, but every time I upload one of these, it's going to be quality invasions. It's going to be something where you can actually learn something from the invasion. You can see how I play a particular way in a particular setting. So better quality overall. And I think that's the most important part to this series. If you guys want to see me play around with the format a little bit, just let me know. I'm always open for feedback and stuff. But I'll see you guys next time. Later.